Good morning, friends. It is Tuesday, April 23rd, and I know I look like a hot mess, but I have a good reason for that. It's super early in the morning. Yesterday, well, let me back up. As some of you who know, who've been following my channel for a while, I have a dog named Pepper who last fall in October was diagnosed with cancer, some sort of a skin cancer. I can't remember the technical term for it or the name of it. Anyway, she quite suddenly developed another lump in around the same area that they took the previous cancer off of. So she had a vet visit yesterday, and the vet is 90% sure that it is the cancer returned. So he wanted her to come in for surgery as soon as possible. Well, the soonest opening they had was May 2nd, so I went ahead and set that appointment up. And then I was home for a little while, and the vet called, and they had a cancellation for today, and he wanted her to come in today. So that's what we're doing. We have to take her super early and drop her off. He always does all of his surgeries in the morning. Then if all goes well, we'll be able to bring her back home tonight. I did take some pictures of the lump, and I will insert that here. So as you can see, it's quite prominent, quite large, and I'm actually quite worried. The last time she had surgery for this, I didn't know it was cancer. The doctor was pretty sure it was, but you know, you can't be sure until it goes to the labs. And so I was trying to stay very optimistic the last time that, oh, it's not cancer, it's not cancer. Well, now I know it is cancer. And the really ironic thing is that if Pepper was a person, her cancer is in the exact same spot that my mom's cancer was, where her lump was that she initially went to the doctor for, and it turned out to be cancer. And so I'm really a mess right now. My mind is just racing, and I'm really trying hard not to go to a negative place in my head, but I do know that Pepper is going to have quite an extensive incision, because the vet did say he's going to have to take extra wide margins this time, because it did come back in the same exact spot. So I know she's going to be really in a lot of pain and very uncomfortable for the next few days, and I just feel so bad for her because she really does not understand what's going on. So anyway, I am going to get myself pulled together after we drop her off at the vet, get cleaned up and get my makeup and stuff on. So right now I'm going to get my cup of coffee, get Olivia woke up, and then we got to head out the door. So we are back, and Lucy is getting breakfast, and she's barking her head. Well, she's not barking her head off. Wow. She was a minute ago. Anyway, this is my breakfast. I took my coffee with me, so I've still got about half a mug of coffee. And then this is my, it's called Pint Jar Chia, and this is a Trim Healthy Mama recipe. And it's really pretty good. So that's what I'm having for breakfast. Hello friends, it's a few hours later now, and I've had my breakfast and done my morning thing, got ready. My hair's still a little wet. Like I've said before, I am a slow mover in the morning, so when I have to get up super early, it's more challenging for me than a lot of people, I think, but I'm going to survive it. Pepper was okay when we dropped her off. She's of course nervous. Poor animals, they just don't understand what's going on. They're supposed to call between 12 and 2 to let us know how she is doing, how the surgery went, and when we can pick her up. Unless some unforeseen complications arose, she should be able to come home tonight about 4 o'clock-ish. So looking forward to having her back home and safe and all of that. I was supposed to go get a massage today, which I was like debating whether I should cancel it or not, because this surgery thing happened really suddenly, and I've had my massage appointment for a month, But I thought, well, you know, I can time it just right and go and get my massage. Well, a little while ago they called and my massage therapist is sick, so I had to cancel my appointment, reschedule it, which, like I said, actually works out much better for me, so I don't have to be rushing around and all of that stuff. So I can just kind of take my time this afternoon because I do have a lot of things that I want to get done today. Things mostly in the kitchen. I have some food prep I want to do. As of yesterday, I am back on Trim Healthy Mama 100%. Last year I was on Trim Healthy Mama. I lost about 15 pounds. Then I went off of it and gained it all back. And so, yeah, I just am not happy at the weight that I am right now, and so I really need to get this weight off. I know Trim Healthy Mama works, and so that's what I'm going to do. And I think what I'm going to have to do is just make up my mind that it's going to be a lifetime thing. It's not something I can just keep going on and off, because every time I go on it, I lose weight. Every time I go off of it, I gain the weight back. And that's just as bad as any other kind of a yo-yo diet. For today's supper, I'm going to be making a recipe out of this Trim Healthy table book, and it's going to be in the crock pot because it's just going to be too difficult to try to get supper and pick up pepper from the vet and all of that stuff. So if we have something already prepared, I can put the rice on to cook when we leave to get pepper, and then by the time we get back, the rice should be done and everything should be ready. So what I'm making is called teriyaki beef and broccoli, but I can't eat beef, so it's going to be chicken. And I didn't have quite enough broccoli, so I'm going to be putting some green beans in with it too. So it's chicken, teriyaki chicken and vegetables, my version of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the chicken in the bottom of the crock pot. And I just have some cooked chicken. I had prepared this chicken a couple weeks ago, and so I'm just going to, it's still frozen, so I'm just going to dump it in there. And then on top of the chicken, I'm going to add a sliced onion. And then it says 4 to 5 cloves of minced garlic. And I've got this tube of minced garlic, so I'm just going to put a couple good squirts in there. So then in a separate bowl, I'm going to kind of make the sauce. It calls for fresh ginger. I don't have fresh ginger, so I'm just going to use dehydrated ginger. And I'm just going to guess on the amount. I'll probably put like 1.5 teaspoons, because it said a 1-inch cube of fresh ginger. So I don't know. I'm just guesstimating. Then it says 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. But I'll go a little shy on that because my family's a little bit sensitive to heat. 1/3 cup of soy sauce. And I use the light soy sauce because I don't like all that salt. Third of a cup of vinegar. It calls for rice vinegar. I don't think I have any rice vinegar. I don't have rice vinegar, so I'm just going to use apple cider vinegar. 1/3 cup. I'm going to go a little shy on that because I'm not a huge vinegar fan. And then I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of my stevia blend. This is a 1/2 tablespoon scoop, so I'm going to put 4 of them in. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil. And then you need 1/4 cup of water. Now, if you were using fresh ginger, you would put this in a blender and blend it up till the ginger is completely purified, or not purified, that's the word I'm looking for, pureed. So the ginger is completely pureed. But since I'm using powdered ginger, I'm just going to whisk it in this bowl. So you just pour the sauce over the meat. I'm going to go ahead and add the green beans now, but I'm not going to add the broccoli until a couple of hours before we serve it, only because I like my green beans really well cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and put this crock pot on low, let it cook for a few hours, and then I'll add the broccoli. Then when it's all cooked, you can serve it over cauliflower rice or brown rice. If you serve it over cauliflower rice, it would be like a fuel pool. If you serve it over brown rice, it will be an E. I'm going to serve it over brown rice. So right before you serve it, you sprinkle on some sesame seeds as garnish, and there you have it. And of course, I'll show you a picture of my plate at dinner time. This is what I'm having for lunch today. I'm just having some leftover ham from Easter on 2 pieces of sprouted grain bread, and then one of these Coca-Cola Lives. No, this is absolutely not on plan for Trim Healthy Mama because it does have sugar in it. But I think as long as I drink one of these with an E meal, which has carbs in it, because this has sugar and it has carbs, we'll be okay. At least it's okay for me. Like I said, I have to do the Trim Healthy Mama plan very loosely, but even following it loosely, I am able to lose weight. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to peel and chop up these kiwi and put them on a cookie sheet and put them in the freezer for smoothies. I've already washed them, and so I'm going to get those prepared and ready for the freezer. So the last bit of food prep I'm going to do today is I'm going to make some protein bites. These are low carb, they're Trim Healthy Mama S, and I'm going to eat these mainly with my breakfast. That pint jar chia pudding stuff I had for breakfast this morning tastes really, really good, but it doesn't stay with me very long. And I find myself hungry, like my stomach literally growling about 2 hours after I eat it. And you're supposed to space your meals more like 3 hours apart on Trim Healthy Mama. So I thought if I added some of these protein bites, then I'll stay satiated longer. So the ingredients you're going to need for this is either coconut oil or butter. I'm using coconut oil because I've said this a million times, but I can't do dairy. Then you're going to need stevia, a stevia blend, or any kind of on-plan sweetener that you prefer. Almond flour. Now they call for whey protein powder, but whey is a form of milk, so I'm going to be using hemp protein powder. Peanut butter flour or powdered peanut butter. Vanilla. I'm completely out of my liquid vanilla, so I will be using my powdered. Blackstrap molasses, a pinch of salt, your choice of pecans, walnuts, or almonds, and I'm going to be using almonds, mainly just because this bag is already open. Some unsweetened coconut, and some on-plan chocolate chips. I can't find the kind that they recommend, so I just use organic dark chocolate chips. It's not 100% on plan, but it is close enough. drop them by cookie scoop onto a parchment lined cookie sheet. Then you stick these in the freezer till they're nice and solid, and then you put them in a Ziploc and store them either in the refrigerator or the freezer. Now I only made a single batch because I have never made these before and I'm not sure if we'll like them. I made these also for Scott because he is doing low carb as well. And well, he's doing more low carb and I'm doing Trim Healthy Mama, which is kind of low carb too, but not exclusively low carb. But anyhow, if we like them, I'll make them again and I'll make a double batch. Our weather is absolutely ridiculous. Yesterday it was sunny, 75 degrees, so I put Jenny out in her outdoor pen, and then at 9 o'clock at night it was still like close to 60, so I just left her out there. Then when I get up this morning, it was in the 50s, but now it's dropped down to the 40s, and it's stinking cold. So I'm coming out here to get some straw to put into her little shelter inside of her outside pen. I really don't want to put her back in the shed unless it really, really gets a lot colder. She's enjoying it out, just being able to get out and scratch around and be a normal chicken. Oh, this is the way spring is in Indiana. It teases you. Finally think it's going to be warm, and then it gets cold, and then in a couple of weeks it'll get hot and it'll stay hot. Oh. And my sweet husband thought he was helping me, and he cut my forsythia bush back because it had grown a lot, which I was planning to do, but you're not supposed to trim them till after they bloom. And he really trimmed it back. So if he hadn't have done that, it would have been full of beautiful yellow flowers, but not anymore. I didn't yell at him or anything. He was trying to be helpful. I told him, I said, I just wish you would have asked me. Because if he would have waited like 2 weeks and then not trimmed it quite so severely, then that would have been nice. So here's Jenny's pen. I think she might be a little cold. She can get out of there whenever she wants to. The back door is open. Back door back there. We do lock it up at night so predators can't get to her. Hi, lady. Hi, Jenna. Hi, sweetie pie. You know, I said I wasn't going to get attached to Al, and I did. Well, Jenny I'm very attached to. So it's not going to be pretty if something happens to her. There, she can burrow in there and get warm if she wants to. And then, yeah, we close this door at night, but I'll leave it open so she can get out. Hi, Jenny. See, I put the straw in there for her, and you can close that wooden door at night. And she stays pretty cozy in there. She wouldn't be able to spend the winter in there, but she does all right in this type of temperatures. So let's go ahead and open the greenhouse. See what the temperature is in here on this cold day. It is actually 60 degrees in here. 20 degrees warmer, which is nice. And radishes are doing really well. and the spinach is doing really well. The beets are doing okay, that's there. And then this is like lettuces and kale, and they're coming up pretty spotty. Not really sure why. And the same on this side, I have lettuces and Swiss chard, and they're not coming up very good. And then I've got carrots planted back there, and I don't know if that little bit of green is carrots or if it's weeds. I'll have to wait and see. So it is 3:30 and it's time to go get Pepper. I came out to warm the car up a little bit because it's stinking cold out here. Oh, I thought for sure we were going to have some decent weather, but no, it had to go ahead and turn cold again. But I'm really anxious to see Pepper and anxious to see what the vet has to say. And I sure hope she's not in too much pain. She shouldn't be today, but tomorrow she'll probably be pretty sore. So I'll pick you back up when we're home and I'll give you an update as to what the vet had to say. So here's what we had for supper. This is that chicken teriyaki that I made earlier in the video, and it was very, very good. I highly recommend this recipe. All right, friends, before I close this vlog out for today, I wanted to give you a little update about what the vet said about Pepper. Sorry about the lighting. I'm down in my office. It's the only place in the house that I have any privacy right now because the family's home and everybody's out doing things upstairs. So I wanted a place that was quiet, so the lighting's not great, but so be it. Well, I have some pictures of her incision, and I will insert them here. As a word of warning, if you are at all squeamish, avert your eyes for about 10 seconds, because it is not pretty to look at. So those tubes sticking out are a drain. The mass was very large. He had to take out quite a bit of muscle tissue. Not deep muscle tissue, thankfully, but surface muscle. Not the muscles that control her neck, but the other tendons and things that run down the side of her neck. It was very fast growing, and absolutely, for sure, a return of the cancer. The prognosis isn't very good. It's almost exactly 6 months since her last bout with this cancer. At that time, he did say that she had a 50-50 chance of it coming back, but it could come back anywhere on her body. But since it came back in the exact same spot, he said that if it does come back in that same spot again, that there's nothing more they can do for her. It would just be comfort care until she became too ill. And then we'd have to have her put to sleep. I'm sorry to be crying in 2 videos this week. Normally I try to make my videos very, lighthearted and happy, but I'm really having a hard time finding anything, the silver lining in this, or to be optimistic. I was optimistic the last time. I was thinking, oh, it won't come back. It won't come back. It came back, and it came back more aggressive than the first time. So I have no idea. The vet just said to keep watching, keep checking. She's got a long recovery ahead of her. We have to keep her crated, at least for now, because I'm sorry if this is too much information, but the reason that drain is there is because he took out so much tissue that there was nothing to sew back together. I'm not a medical professional. I don't really know all the terms and terminologies and such, but because he didn't have any muscle tissue that he could sew together, he had to put that drain in there so that blood would not collect underneath the wound until the body had a chance to heal itself. So there's blood that's like constantly dripping out of that drain. Well, not out of the tube itself, but out of the wound. And so we're keeping her confined. We did take her outside to go potty a little while ago, and she kept stumbling on that leg and limping on it real bad. And she did eat a little bit of supper. We're not supposed to give her a whole lot. And we have to put warm, moist compresses on the wound twice a day until the drain comes out, which will come out on May 1st, which is the anniversary of my mother's death, ironically again. For those of you who own pets, especially a dog, you'll understand why I'm so upset. Scott told me for my own mental health, I need to prepare myself for the worst. How do you prepare yourself for that? I don't know how you prepare yourself for that. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm so sorry to end this video on a sad note, but it's a day in my life, and on this day in my life, I'm very sad and upset. I'll talk to you later, friends. Bye-bye.